Okay, moving on from here. Is it law or tradition? Well, let's see. The law. We, the people. Well, there's nothing in the Constitution that says that you have to show up to the inauguration of the next president. So let's get our pointer real quick. It looks like this is Thomas, or rather George Washington, at John Adams's inauguration, or at least that's what this picture from Yahoo Image Search told me it was. We're going to go with it. So it's just tradition. Washington showed up, you show up. Well, okay, let's look at recent history. January 20th, 2021. Very recent history. I'm recording this January 21st, 2021. Donald Trump did not give a reason. He just blew town. I mean, he said he wanted a peaceful transition of power and, that I'm not sure he even really ever said that he supported Joe Biden's presidency. He just acknowledged that he lost kind of at one point. But let's see. He wasn't there, but I mean, like nobody was there, right? It was COVID. Okay, Obama was there along with Mrs. Obama. The Bushes were there, and Laura even wore her pearls, supporting the whole like United with Pearls for Kamala Harris. The Clintons were there. The Pences, so the outgoing vice president was there, and what's this? Looks like Karen Pence has her pearls too. Have we missed any living presidents besides Donald Trump? Oh, right. Jimmy and Rosalind Carter were not there because they're in their 90s and they don't want to get on a plane to Washington and die. So that's a fair reason not to go. But everyone else was there. So, tradition. They would have been there anyhow. It's just a traditional thing to do. Bipartisan, Democrat, Barack Obama, Republican, George Bush, Democrat, Bill Clinton, Republican, Mike Pence, all present, and Carter's sent their well wishes. So what just happened? Wait, this has happened before? I'm dead. Oh, it was the dead guys. Got it. Okay, so these four died in office. And that's important to note. The four that you see pictured on your screen, from left to right: William Henry Harrison, Zachary Taylor, Warren G. Harding, and Franklin D. Roosevelt. They all died while in office. Just died, got sick and died. Well, Harrison didn't wear a coat for his inauguration and caught pneumonia. That was dumb. But nonetheless, it is natural causes. They all simply died in office. And so their vice presidents took over per the Constitution. And they obviously were not present at the next inauguration because they were dead. But wait a minute. Were there more guys who died? Oh, right. Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, and Kennedy all were shot. So once again, their vice presidents took over for them because they were shot and died that way. So, okay, 8 guys, one way or another, died in office. Clearly, they were not going to be at the next inauguration. But that's not really what we're looking at here. Donald Trump's still alive, and other presidents have done this when they were alive. It's just the dead guys, right? Nah. 4 times? Wonder Bitmoji Newens crying. Okay, who are these guys? Oh, we got John Adams. Wasn't he Washington's? He's the second president. The second president couldn't follow the precedent set by the first president. Yes, I'm aware I'm doing a little wordplay there. John Quincy Adams, like father, like son. Andrew Johnson. Well, I mean, he was impeached, right? That might be a reason. And Richard Nixon. These 4 guys were not at the inauguration of their successors. Let's take a look at why. Let's start with John Adams. We'll go all the way back to the beginning. In 1801, maybe he wasn't invited to the inauguration by Thomas Jefferson. Maybe he didn't want to stir the pot because they were from different political parties. Adams was a Federalist and Jefferson was a Republican, or as historians now refer to them, a Democratic Republican. No official reason, though, was given. John Adams simply wasn't there. He left the White House around 4 in the morning the day of the inauguration and just went about his business. It's just kind of how things went, I guess, in 1801. Well, what about Quincy? John Quincy Adams. And if you know street names that are named after presidents, you know that Quincy usually is what comes next in line. So 1829, John Quincy Adams, maybe because Jackson felt the 1824 election was a corrupt bargain. Why would he feel that way? Well, it seems Jackson and Quincy both, like, neither one took the full electoral vote. So it had to go to the House of Representatives. We talked about this back during electoral college days. Quincy had less electoral votes, but he was more popular in the House of Representatives and was declared the president. Jackson may have had a point that this could have been a corrupt bargain. Maybe he said, I lost, and left, just because. Once again, no official reason given, just like his father. Interesting. All right, 2 more. Let's move on. Andrew Johnson, 1869. Maybe he was butthurt. I mean, he'd just been impeached. He wasn't nominated by the Republican Party because it was Abraham Lincoln's party and they just weren't the biggest fan of Andrew Johnson. Maybe it was just about U.S. Grant in general. Again, another wordplay because he's General Ulysses S. Grant. So maybe he just doesn't like Ulysses S. Grant in general because, I don't know. I mean, they were known to be nemesis, and we know that Grant said he would not ride to the Capitol in the same carriage as President Johnson. But couldn't they have just ridden in separate carriages? I mean, presidents usually ride in the same car or carriage in 1869. But, I mean, could have just been that he would just go in separate carriages. Well, officially, he had to sign a last-minute legislation at the White House, and that's per the Library of Congress. So he ran back to the White House, didn't make it over to Capitol Hill in time for the inauguration. Sounds kind of convenient. Finally, we have Richard Nixon, and you guys may be familiar with what happened here. In 1974, Richard Nixon was the only president to resign. He told his vice president, Gerald Ford, that he would be leaving, and then got out of Ford's way. Ford was sworn in quickly, and since Nixon's from California, by the time he actually landed back home, he was just a general citizen. After making his final statement to the American people from the East Room of the White House, he left, got in the chopper, headed to Air Force One, and took the long flight back to California. So, I mean, I guess if you resigned, you kind of have a reason to just leave. So, oops. There's questions below about our 4 presidents. Go ahead and answer those, and then you'll come back for your exit ticket.